What's going on, everybody? Today I wanted to share with you a cool technique I came up with for making a fake live edge on any board. Here I'm using this dark green Sculpey Bay clay I've smashed into the edge of this piece of plywood, and I'm texturing the clay with a real piece of bark I picked off a tree. Once I'm happy with the look of my bark, I break out the heat gun and roast this bad boy like a 5-year-old at an ant party. To pull off the look that this plywood is actually a real board, I'm a real board! My go-to is this wood stained Varathane in the color Kona. Once I get a good layer on the board, it's time to stain the clay. The goal is to soak it real good so you can't see the clay anymore, but use a rag to clean up any wet areas so it'll dry faster. Once dry, break out the 99-cent acrylic paints. Grab the colors that look closest to a real piece of bark. Then do dabs. You're looking to put it on and trying to wipe it off, leaving behind in the cracks and indentions. Mix colors and don't be afraid to take a step back. If areas aren't working out, restain the problem area and start again. To make this a unique shelf, I laser cut out letters to become the shelf braces. I then laser cut out the words in those letters so you know what they represent. Disregard the non-duress ice pick here in the video. I absolutely have one and love it, but Varathane stain hurts the resale value. Once the letters get stained, it's time for a quick look at how the plywood live edge is looking. I'm doubling up the letters and mounts by gluing two of them together to make it thicker for stability. I came up with this mounting idea when I noticed the B and D letters could stick in slots, so I created this wall plate. To trick the eye into thinking this is a real board, I am real wood. I needed to add some grain lines. I do this by dragging a razor blade back and forth until I've worn a sawmill kind of look into it that I like. It seems I was rocking a little too hard to Britney Spears while I was staining, because I seem to have stained every single part of the parts that I was wanting to glue. But that's okay, the glue bond didn't seem to mind the stain on the boards and is still rock solid to this day. After using my stud finder and only finding myself, I then used it on this wall to mount this wooden bracket I created in V-Carve. On to smearing glue and making dreams happen. I fabricated some brackets out of brass to add some reinforcement. I mean, there wasn't a whole lot of glue surface area for it to bond to at the best. And once again, I got a little stain crazy and forgot to leave bare spots. Off camera, I hit them with stain, and now they blend excellent. And now to the explanation of this shelf. These are all prototypes in the order they were designed, which many of you know today as the bit duster. I named the design after the fact to clear sawdust from the CNC bit as you cut. I had the idea to capture the air off of the CNC router exhaust off of a Bob CNC. So I grabbed a piece of Lexan and used a heat gun to form it into a shape that directed it down. It did absolutely nothing. I laid awake in bed all night designing a better design to capture the air. The next day I purchased some vinyl hose, built My Little Pony streamers, and measured the height and width of the airflow. The second design worked. Sawdust parted like the Red Sea. And after a few more tweaks, I began making and selling them on the CNC. 5 months later, I purchased a laser cutter, which helped speed up production. Today I sell 3 versions of the bit duster: a 2D laser cut model, a 3D model that was born from a mistake of accidentally cutting the letters out instead of engraving them, and a bolt together design you can assemble yourself. I could have checked these prototypes a long time ago, but I have very few that literally didn't work on the first try to then later become successful enough that you can create a business around. Hopefully your creations all have stories like mine do and memories you relive when you see them. Thanks for watching.